Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of DocuSmart series. So, where we are building a smart assistant that fills the form using AI and voice. So, today we are going to talk about the cool features that we are adding right now. It is like letting users speak their answers when our that is then converted to a text using speech recognition and cleaned using AI models powered by OpenRouter. So I have divided it into three sections as of now. So these are three sections that I'm going to talk about today. So first is like how we are going to take the input from voice, and if speech recognition library is not present, then it will fall back to the console typed input. So we first try Whisper, then Google SST, and then finally typed input. So whichever works, we will take the input in that way. The second section where we are going to discuss is using OpenRouter API to ask smart questions. So when we say smart question, it simply means that we use OpenRouter, which is an OpenAI compatible and supports open source models like Mistral. So I'm using Mistral over here, and this is going to generate next field question using the current label and the previous answers that you have already answered, right? Say if you are saying like what is your name, so name, if the name has been entered previously, so I'm going to pass the next field and the previous answer to AI model so that it can frame the question in such a way that a user can understand better. So basically, it is going to allow the form filling process to feel more conversational and user friendly rather than like standard questionnaire where user is going to answer non-interactive questions. So the third section, like eventually what is going to happen when you are able to retrieve the input from the user, then I'm going to pass that information to LLM with a prompt to clean up spoken or typed answer before storing them. How it is going to help is like, say, if a doctor's name has been pronounced when the question was asked, like, what is the doctor name that is taking care of your diagnosis, or the who is taking your care. So if you say something like, my doctor's name is XYZ, so it is going to remove the noise which is my doctor's name and going to keep it very simple, like XYZ is going to be stored in front of doctor's name. So what it is going to do, actually it is going to store only the valid, you can say, information that we need, not anything beyond that. So let us take a look at the code base that I'm using right now. So let's close this. Yeah, let me take a look at the main.py again. So here main.py, I'm just collecting the fields. As in the previous one, I have described already that I was unable to fetch the fields out of PDF form, so I have feeded it manually. Going forward, I'll take care of that as well, and then we'll have the full-fledged solution. So I have a different plan for it. Maybe in the next video, I'm going to share what exactly I want to do with this particular project. So when we are getting the field name, the field name contains like two information. One is like actual field name and the labels. So when ask question is being called, this method is going to have label and answers, right? Why I'm passing the answer? Because I want to have the context to be given to LLM so that the next question is framed accordingly. So how that is helpful, I can go ahead in the next video and we'll let you know how it is helpful passing the answer over here for whatever questions the answer has been provided. uh, I'll go deep inside the ask question, then but let me just go through this first. So the question has been framed based on the label and prompt that is being given from inside the ask question and the answer that has been previously answered over here. So now the next step on line 57 is like getting voice input, which is nothing but your answer. And in order to compare the answers, like a clean answer and the raw answer, I'm storing both of them in a JSON file. Why JSON file? Because I want to store the information so that it can be used for the next form filling. And the application or the system can do autofill for all if the information is present. Sensitive information like any sort of password or you can say Aadhaar number or social security numbers, those things I'm not going to store. So for those things, we'll implement the logic in the upcoming videos. It is going to be a little stretched videos, or you can say multiple, a series of videos where we will be discussing things in deep. I'm not in a rush, and neither I want you to be in a rush and try to learn everything in a one video or something like that. What happens after that is like the question and the raw answer has been passed again to the LLM. So based on the question and the answer that has been provided by the user using voice input or maybe typed input is cleaned, right? And then it is being basically stored in a dictionary and I'm dumping it into a file. Let's take a look what is going on inside ask question. So here there are a couple of things that we are doing over here. So history JSON is basically the answers that has been already, I mean, we have collected from the user for every parameter like name, address or date of birth. All those things will be available in this history JSON. So this is the prompt. This is a prompt that is being provided to LLM or the OpenRouter API. So we are simply saying that we are at the field labeled. We are at the field label. Say what is going to be labeled is like if we are at the second question. So here you can see the second question is date of birth. So it can basically ask like, okay, Vikesh, what is your date of birth, rather than just asking like date of birth, right? So that is the sense of intelligence it adds, or it makes it so interactive. The question feels like somebody sitting in front of you and asking. So the prompt basically says that based on prior answers that I have collected already, and generate one short question that a human can answer. Right. This is the prompt, similar to what we put in the chat GPT in order to get something out of it. So here the client is being created using OpenAI library, and there's a base URL and the API key that has been passed, and then we collect the response, right? And we can discuss temperature and model right now. I just wanted to discuss about this. So Mistral AI is the open source model that I'm using right now. So it's okay. We can use this, not a problem. I was not being charged for it. So basically I chose this one for demo or these sort of projects. And when you have got the response back from the OpenAI, then you can just uh, strip it and prepare it to be shown to the user. Right. So this is the question part, which we are discussing right now. Let me go to the answer one. So once the question is printed and the answer is being collected from get voice input function, right? So it is a return type is going to be a string where whisper model is being used. If it is not working, then we can go for Google SSD. So it simply says like when the question is printed, then this method is going to be called and is going to ask like speak now, stop after a pause. The timer has been given to 20 seconds and phrase time limit is 20. So it is going to listen through your mic. And when you speak, it is going to record that information, convert it to a string, and then return from this function, right? So once that is done, then the raw answer is being stored in the dictionary over here, and later on I'm passing that information with question to again to the OpenAI. Why? To clean up the answer, not to have the unnecessary information stored in my JSON file. So in order to do that, the prompt is very clear over here. The prompt is given like you are a form assistant. So we are assigning a role to OpenAI and stating that you're a farm assistant and your job is to extract a clean value from a user's spoken response. So this way, LLM or OpenAI understands like what is the job. So we are clearly mentioning like this is my question and this is the answer that I have received from the user. And the prompt further goes further like return a short clean value that should be filled into the form and do not include extra words or any sort of noise. So again, calling the OpenAI, we could say API, and getting the response back. Once the response is given, we are just stripping it and then returning back. Now the clean answer has been stored in a different dictionary, and later on it is being dumped to a file, to a separate file. So the answer that we are getting, raw answer and the clean answer, has a lot of difference, right? So you can clearly see what way it has been stored over here, like which format I wanted to store it. And if something is missing, say cuff fever, and I was trying to speak something else as well, but it was not able to collect it, so it is going to just filter it out and mention only relevant information over here. So in the next video, what I'm going to do, it would be more of a demo of the current setup, how exactly it is parsing and taking the information, or how we are able to provide the, you can say, input through voice, and how APIs are working, like in order to ask the question and to clean the answer. So those things we'll be covering up in the next one. That is all for this one, and see you next time.